It's a beautiful morning and welcome to Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television. My name is Miracle Odunayo.
Top of the morning to you once again. You're welcome to Daybreak Africa from our studio here in Ondo State, which is the sunshine state of the nation. And yet, it's a beautiful morning. My name is Ikhonede Joshua Odeji.
Good morning.
Yeah, happy new week to you as well. Another week, another time to just,
think about the ongoing situation in the country.
When we think about the ongoing situation in the country, first things first, every salary this week, good morning. Good afternoon. I'm glad that it's getting first in the process. So this week, you understand how we do it.
I don't understand actually.
No,
you and your people. Your people know you and people know you.
Sometimes
I understand.
One of the things I've discovered is that many Nigerians are becoming extremely creative. They understand salary week so much. So once they see their brothers or sisters that works at establishments that definitely pays at the end of the month, they just become unnecessarily friendly to you.
Hey, brother, I just want to say hi to you.
I say hi. I just want to greet
How is work?
How is work? How's everything?
How's the family?
By the time it's 27, 28, you just say, hey, brother,
They don't have the choice. They have to depend on us.
No, but then you people should understand that there are days when it's raining.
Of course.
There are days when you just need that money to just guide for the, because honestly, to be honest, people don't understand the trauma that comes with being a salarian. In the sense that once it's the final week and all that, you've calculated your spendings for the whole month. No matter how much your salary is. I was a friend of mine got a job one time. I think he was saying we were paying him 700,000 or so per month and all that, and I said, and it was like, God has done it finally. Now his financial struggles are over. I told him, young man, there's a way.
The first month, first month will be like, thank God. Second month, third month like this, you are going to be having more
expenditures. I didn't know the funny thing. The thing is mental, because this same guy, when you are earning 15,000 in the first
you know how to manage yourself.
You know how to manage yourself. You have to work one or two things.
Exactly.
The room, you are living in a one room. The minute you begin to earn 30,000, 40,000, you'll be like,
you have to change the way.
See if I can get room and parlor.
Exactly.
Like now my status is mental.
Exactly.
That's something you don't want to buy before you
want to buy it because you're earning more.
Amount of savings you do are not saving before you want to save. That is if you're having a frugal person. The minute you begin to earn 150, suddenly marriage just comes to your mind. Things like that, get married, you understand?
The more you earn, the expenses they keep going up.
Because of his earning 5 million does not mean he doesn't have expenses. Mentally, he has grown more than what he used to.
Exactly. You have to meet up with that standard of the amount you're earning at the moment.
The amounts when he doesn't actually have, because according to the spending, and many people, the funny thing is, many people that are owing loan apps in this country are salary earners in the actual sense. That's just the truth.
So I wonder sometimes, all these people that do obli, where are they seeing money? Where are they seeing money?
Oblis interpret their C as
beautiful.
That's why I think, I'm not saying your sister should work more, but then I think to a very large extent, a lot of things, because some of them will say they are tech bros, they are tech Cs.
Yeah, they work online, crypto, they are into crypto and all of that.
They are into thrift, they sell this, they sell that. They are one of the best bakers in their town. Even though you go for their training, they can't even bake more than. Let's just leave it at that. Everybody knows where they are making their money from.
Exactly.
So that's what I came for today, actually. We'll be discussing something very important today. Before we get there, let's take the reports of the day. After the reports, we come back to our discussion. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. Just joined us. It's still Daybreak Africa, and now it's time to go straight into our discussions for today. Today we'll be looking at a topic that is very vital, actually, which has to do with the state of the nation, and we'll be reviewing some of the stories that really, impacted the nation as of last week. A whole lot of things happened. We witnessed the INEC chairman being inaugurated officially as the INEC chairman. We witnessed the whole protest, which was orchestrated by Omoyele Sowore, who happens to be the former presidential candidate of the YPP. And we saw the fact that he was arrested at the time, then granted bail on Friday. And we also saw Nnamdi Kanu trying to, defend himself in this case with the Nigerian federal government, talking about the treasonable felony sort of arrangement that comes up with him. And aside from that, we saw a whole lot of things. We saw the Senate trying to introduce the Ijebu states in the actual sense, and it has passed the second reading, which is looking like consistently their efforts to increase the amount of states we have in Nigeria. We'll be looking at many of these events in the actual sense, as well as some others like Wale Edun's new openness towards financial accountability when it comes to the federal government, and many other moves that have been made on the side level. But then we'll just streamline to just some very few stories, and then we'll discuss them exclusively. And to discuss with us today in the actual sense, we have with us a political analyst, is also a friend of the house, someone who we love to always have on Daybreak Africa in the actual sense, in the person of Gbenga. Ajisafe, welcome to the show, sir.
Yes,
welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being a part of the show.
No problem. It's a
And I don't know, I'm liking the caps these days.
Yeah, I think most of our guests are always on native attire with cap, and it's giving.
It's given. It's given. The actual sense is given.
It is African.
Yeah.
Look like
Exactly.
It's African, like they say in the actual sense. Let's delve down deep into stories in the actual sense. I was looking at the whole issue around Odunayo and the fact that the police arrested him last week. When you saw him bringing up the protests last week, that was on the NSAS remembrance, which happens to be on the 20th of October 2025, and him saying that this time around the protest is for the country to free Nnamdi Kanu and all that. What was your take on him just going out and, you know, coming out in solidarity with his friend from the East?
Sorry. He's acting on 20 now. He's beginning to see the revolution on 20, as if 20 is the date that you have taken to be acting in that directions. The first thing is he acting right? Yes, he's acting right. You can bring out protests. The laws admit to such things. He's not going back with his protests. You have the revolutionary today. He's talking about free Nnamdi Kanu hashtags. So it's part of what we know him for. So we can do that. Is have the liberties and the freedom to do such things. But the first thing remains that there is a court order that they should not come to some national places that they have given order to before that 20th. So, and I want to believe that is the major reason why he was invited and detained, later released, because there are some set of people that the police have said they have arrested, about 8 of them, and they all point all hand on
Showore being the leader.
Is their leaders, and is one that took them to the court, and that premises that is part of the part of what the law and the court have given order that they should not protest in that vicinity. These are challenges that the police have to invite them and question them for, and that is part of what we are saying. You have the liberties, but there's a limit of your liberties. There's always a limit towards what you do in life.
So are you saying that, assuming he was actually out for the protest, but he did not get to the area whereby the court has said, okay, do not move from so area to this area, he wouldn't have been arrested?
Of course, he wouldn't have been invited or be arrested. The first thing is to invite him, to question him about these people. These are like allegations against you. Are you the one that lead them? These people say they came because you are their leaders, and that is why he invited me. And getting there, it was true that those people said he's part of the people that led them. Okay, so after that they can release them and come back from bail. So that is what now it is. After that, we now see what transpired. They forgive them, and they say they don't do that again, and that will be for the court to determine. But the law has to take its court. Its court it is part of. People should respect the law. We cannot be law-abiding citizens and claim that we want something to be just. So we cannot say we want the rightful things without not following the procedures of judgment that is happening in our country.
But then, now, many Nigerians came out to talk about the fact that they shouldn't have arrested him in the actual sense, looking at the fact that as citizens we have rights to go wherever we want to protest in the actual sense. And though I saw what actually transpired with the old police and all that, but then another part of it that Nigerians talked about was the way the police handled the whole protest at a particular time, looking at the fact that one of the first videos we saw from the protest was Showore running at the time.
Yeah.
And they were still using rubber bullets, carnage, tear gas to chase out protesters. Shouldn't we have advanced beyond this in Nigeria in addressing protesters?
I think that is when we say advance, is you don't get to protest. So Nigerian police, in the midst of these struggles, and 2 others, they cannot do away with such things. I don't see them going easily with people that came out to defer or disturb the peace and the rationales that are behind the orders again that have come out before that time. So these police people are just following strictly orders in terms of don't make sure that they came towards this line, and don't make sure that they bring out issues that we bring us in a bad light. I think these are orders that the police have been given before now. So before we cannot take away that also. But the first thing remains that should we advance? Yes, we can advance. We have many. We can learn from the advanced countries. How did they cope with protests of such attitude? How did they cope with such peoples? So those are things that we can learn. The Nigerian police can go out, learn how to prevent protesters from not taking over them. I think these are areas that we should also be growing, because we're going to be seeing a lot of protests coming up in the nearest future. So we should be able to safeguard the police also, because they have families. We should be able to safeguard them. We should be able to the police are safeguarding the properties of the Nigerian citizen also, so that people will not take it out of hand and start burning houses or burning institutions. So, but we can always have a place to meet in between. Yeah,
and resolve things. But the thing is, this is Nigeria, and we know that so far the kind of protest we've been seeing is actually ending with getting people arrested. We saw what happened during NSAS. Many people were killed, and a lot of things have been happening. Look at what happened to Show, he was arrested alongside with other people. Don't you feel like it's coming to that extent whereby protest is going to go into extinction in Nigeria, particularly because people are not motivated to come out to say their rights, to talk about what they actually want, because they know that if you talk, you'll get arrested or might get killed
or kidnapped or something.
I want to say this before now. It's not we've since well, let me say NSAS bring a lot of issues, but before NSAS we have protests that have come in between the militaries eras, and which I'm part of it. I know how we protested then, the June 12, 1993, 94, 95. We know how we protested in far back till 1996. But the fact still remains that apart from the NSAS, these protesters have having their ways and they are still enjoying themselves. In the areas of militaries, we have a lot of people that die also. People have friends that lost their legs, even school protests and so on. But today, we thank God that no casualty. And we might see people running anyway. But the first thing remains that there is nobody that say is in an hospital because he protested in Abuja or anywhere in the country for now. But before now, we always see people that lost their life, people that lost part of their part of the body. So these are things that we face before now. But gradually, I think Nigerians have been getting it that protest is part of democratic system of working. Protesters will come up because they are angry, they are not happy with the systems. They want to make sure the system suits their line of ways, and they have to show those through protests. So the government also and the police must also know this and prepare to handle it in a civil way, not in another way. And we should be able to train our police officers to handle it in a civil way. Now look, yes, you want to protest, you have submitted your letters. What is your intent? Where do you intend to pass? Where do you intend to convey? How do you intend to do this? These are part of what you sign into. As at the moment they are taking that letter, they have studied it and say, okay, we are going to provide our police force to guide you so that the protest will not be hijacked. That is
One of the
hijack
problems.
is for them not to start stealing, not to start burning house.
Cultism gets involved.
Get here, people can get involved, and they are also to protect you people who are protesting also, so that people cannot, those who we are protesting against can also form some gang and start fighting you people, because you say you are protesting. Some people will say, when we say we are talking about hashtag NSAS, we talk about free Nnamdi Kanu. Some set of people do not even want Kanu to be free already now. They can organize and say, okay, let's push this people away. So there was always a counter against any protest. So there are some set of people that want such thing to go on. Why? Some set of people will say, no, we don't want this anymore. So these are
Issues that
issues
the police will have to address.
that police also are trying to protect.
I think I like the fact that you were able to bring the fact that some are against Nnamdi Kanu's release, some are for Nnamdi Kanu's release. And one of the things that actually transpired too as well was, I saw the video of Shewore with Nnamdi Kanu himself telling Nnamdi Kanu that he's going to be released and all that. That was even before he was
In court.
detained and all that in court. And we discovered that even in court, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers withdrew and said Nnamdi Kanu intends
To defend
himself. And many people came out to talk about the fact that maybe Shewore is just one of the few people that really are concerned about Nnamdi Kanu. That many people in the East, when you talk about the political bigwigs, the governors of the states, and some don't actually want his return in the actual sense, and many of them are not even soliciting for it openly. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that is a known fact that some people are seeing Kanu as a threat to their political careers, and we cannot hide that. You know, the current Labour Party chairman have stated it that there's no how Kanu will be released that so many political bigwigs will not retire because of his influence towards them in terms of winning people not to vote for a particular section of people, and before you know it, it became a lord that people should go to and seek for election if you really want to become elected into a political post in the East. So those people that have benefited from this, we don't want him to come quickly or be released in time so that it will not spoil their pot of soup. So that is that for that. So those people we always say, take him, keep him, please don't release him. These are is a no fact. It's not needed, because Kanu have shown that they want to take over every political structures
Within the Southeast.
So that is a known fact, and if you do that, it's going to retire so many political bigwigs in the Southeast.
So you as a person, from your perspective, are you seeing him as a political threat to the ruling government currently?
It's not a political threat to the ruling government. The ruling government, we are just, they are taking their times to study whether can we have a remote or rethink about his revolutionary ways of taking the Southeast. You know, when you say you want to divide the country, you want to take a section part of the government will not fold his hand and be looking at you.
Definitely.
So it is part of the responsibility of any good conscience Nigerian to understand that the sovereignties of these countries is number one. So nobody, no government, no president will come and tell you that he's going to be happy that a segment of Nigeria is going to be taken away from him. Just as having this large house now, and somebody will tell you that I want to take part of it, you will not be happy with it. So it takes a lot of dialogues, resolutions, and peace to settle many cases that Kanu is trying to fight for. It's not going to be war. It's not about war. It's about dialogue with Nigeria as a state, dialogue with other regions, and see how best means of pulling out, or impossible going back to the federal regional government. So that we go a long way. If you say you want to take yourself out of Nigerians, it take an international impact to do that. It's not just Nigerian things. You have to meet all criteria, and the criteria is not just something we go to war to. It's something that we need to work it out. How do we get total numbers of people that say we want to go? It's not you, it's the people. So they have to sign. There's a lot of things that's going to result. You're not going to compile them or force them the way they are doing. No, you're not going to compile people you're not going to force people to be out. Let's seek their opinions. How many people resolutions should come on, and see how. So these are things that you go a long way. That we don't just say okay, because you felt people are marginalized. It's true, and we want to pull out. It's not work that way. Yes, it don't work that way. We have to take it easy, so that we not get our people, our region, to still lag behind in terms of growth.
Our region to still lag behind instead of growth. So, from your own perspective, you feel the dialogue from the federal government. I don't know why they've never taken that part since all these days, going into dialogue with the Southeast, and then even with Nnamdi Kanu himself, rather than incarcerating him and just holding him for that long. We know what is happening with Simon Ekpa and the other sense too in Finland and co. But if, like this, we do the final thing that we ask on this certain matter, but we'll progress to the next issue. But if you were to advise the government at this particular time, should they just let Kanu go unconditionally and just look for means to just sort whatever issues they have with the Southeast?
It's easy for the federal government to let Kanu go on unconditionally, but also you must understand that the government have also a duty to do. The duty is to make sure that every entities of these countries are safe without no threat of no social ever. The reason that in the country today, will they bring threats? Those are the questions the government is afraid of. We go back and start bringing threats and cause a lot of convictions and bringing our people. If the answer is yes, they will not release them. That is a fact. Because we anchor to that we don't want trouble. Can you please go back and bring no trouble? If you say you want to bring trouble, okay, you can stay here and relax. Because we don't want people to give us more trouble. We have enough trouble dealing with already. We have ISOB, we have Boko Harams, you don't want another problem coming from the east. So these are fact issues. So I want to believe that the Nigerian government is sensitive enough that Kanu is somebody that is having that lion heart. He's not going to take it easy. He's not going to back down low. He's going to fight all through. So they want to have a dialogue with him. That is my sense of it. They want to have a kind of a place that somebody can talk to him, people can come and address him and see possible ways
of convincing him.
Okay. Because when you say he can't sell left him to defend himself, it shows that zeal is still in him. He have that spirit. He still want to continue that struggles. He don't want to back down easily, and that is a threat to Nigerian government. Because they don't want the country to divide. No meaningful Nigerian president will want this country to divide. They just want the country to remain still and find out possible solutions to make sure the country work as a unity and progress in that line. Possible solution, no matter what we are saying, they just want a possible solution, because they don't want us to start saying, okay, you go. If the South go, who did that president over? Whose country did they call their country?
No, we'll call it Biafra actually.
No, they don't say Biafra, yes, and the president wants everybody to stay
under Nigeria.
Nigerians. So that is the oath they have sworn into. That's why I say the sovereignty of the country is the first thing the government is looking into. That's the oath. The government will not just say, okay, you can go freely. These are oaths that they have sworn to defend with their tenure they are in office. So they don't want it to get loose easily.
Well, let's progress on to another very notable event. Even though if we take this one, we'll still just progress more on it. This is from Chidi Odunayo that was saying that I'll be praying for Amopi. Happens to be the INEC chairman currently. Chidi Odikalu, former chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, HRC, says Joash Amopitan, the new INEC chairman in the actual sense, is a man of integrity. That is from Chidi Odikalu. And they said that Amopitan's character is not in doubt, but warned that his integrity could be tested by what he called the multiple principalities within the electoral body. He said INEC is difficult to manage because of entrenched political interests and the influence of politicians who own workers within the commission. But when I said that INEC is a place dominated by multiple principalities, that's exactly the point I was trying to make. Chidi Odikalu said, there is no senior politician from the presidency to state governors who does not have a plant in INEC. I'm not particularly a religious person, but I will tell him that because of who he is, I'll be praying for him. Odikalu advised Amopitan to set clear priorities and determine measurable goals for his tenure. And the former attorney said Nigerians would judge Amopitan's leadership by how he manages the November 8th Anambra governorship election, describing it as his first major test. Now, Tinubu made this statement to us well that the Anambra elections of November 8th will be a first major test to Joash Amopitan, who was inaugurated last week. And why I'm bringing this because Anambra is going to be having their elections next week, particularly next week, November 8th. And remember that I was in the last election. I was one of the reporters who was present there. We know how the issue of IPOB almost caused an issue that election, but then depended all the activities for a week and ensured the election held, then returned to the elections, to the activities after that. And I witnessed how the election process went back. I saw the many strands of development that Mahmoud Yakub tried to make towards INEC and co. But now, Joash Amopitan now is currently on the reins of INEC in the actual sense, and he has less than 2 weeks to prepare for an election as his first test. What do you expect from Joash Amopitan from your own perspective?
Well, this is the first test, and I want to tell you for free that this test is going to tell more on him. The integrity, we always said that any chairman that came in, we always say you have integrity. But the first thing remains that these are professors that have been chosen because they felt they don't have any political parties affiliation, and they have shown themselves for a long time that they have this integrity because of they are tutored towards having such things. But the first thing remains that elections in Nigerians and the political big wings don't easily let it go. Everybody wants to win by all means. I remember what you said, that every political big wings have a plant
in INEC.
In INEC. It shows that you have an insider that will always give you a report. What is happening, tell you, or guy, we should do this, or guy should pay this. So it shows that even the bosses is clean. You have subjects
who are not.
And these subjects are those ones that will be on the field. It's not him himself. Yes, these are workers. These are people that they are also boss. They're not just they are boss. They are boys that they control. So they have to go in and try to maneuver their way in. But the first thing means that this is going to be a big test for him. He's going to say a lot about how well he can handle the coming general elections.
But I don't think that should be a test for him.
Exactly.
Because this is just one week. And now, whichever they can say, they say they are moles. We do already. And the moles, it's one problem I think someone actually shared on social media. He said, why not make an INEC chairman from someone that is in the INEC system?
Exactly.
Over
the years.
been
in the system.
And then you elect the person to become the chairman of INEC. Why bring someone from the outside like Joash Amopitan, who hardly knows any of the procedures, any of the things, even some of the arrangements that, and then within a week, a space of 1 week, or let's say 1 week and some days of being the INEC chairman, he has to, coordinate an election as sensitive as Anambra's election. Which why should that be a point of us to judge him? I will ask that question, but before you answer it, let us take Go Start. Immediately after Go Start, we come back to this discussion. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. We've just joined us to Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go back to our discussion. I hope you enjoyed GoStart, and I hope you're going to do something with what you learned from GoStart. But then it's time to return to our discussion, looking about the state of the nation. And one of the stories we just clocked into is the story of Joash Amopitan, who is the INEC chairman and has been placed on duty last week, inaugurated by the president. And we were picking some of the issues raised by Chidi Odinkalu. He was talking about the fact that even though he knows Joash as a man of integrity, INEC has a lot of problems in the actual sense. And our guest in the person of Gbenga Ajisafe was just taking us into perspective with what I said, that should the Anambra election be a point to judge Joash Amopitan, because it's just barely about
it's part of it. We want to see a vibrant professor that is right to do this job. As a matter of fact, this is the right time for us to test him, even if it's just for a week. It's his job. It's just to coordinate the elections. Coordinations, it doesn't mean that he's going to be on the field. Yes, there's going to be a lot of loopholes, but with his presence, they are not able to get his number for now. The politicians are not having access as such to him because he's just coming in.
Okay.
So if we have this tight and a kind of comfortable way of doing his things now,
without any interference,
because people are not knowing that much.
Okay.
He's coming in as a freshman that you don't have much access. Even the boys don't know what he can do, who he can sack. You don't know his mind. It is when you get caught that we know how he deal with you. Yes, he began to show that he's ready of a man of action. We tell them the rules. Look, if you come back and give me this, mindful that you lose your job, you lose your integrity, and you go to jail. Let them know. That's why I say he's going to coordinate them. When you coordinate them and give them strict sanctions and give them warnings, people will be able to behave well. Nobody will tell them that, because he knows that when you lose your job, you lose the money that you are being bribed, and you go to prison. He will be the one that will escort you to prison.
Why not just elect someone from within the system to become the INEC chairman? Why someone from the outside? At least that one understands the pattern of how things are going on automatically.
There's no pattern that INEC is doing that is too hard for a professor to understand.
To handle.
There's no pattern.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, what they are doing is to bring new person so that it will not be as planned as the way they say they have planned somebody there. You know, when you get a job into INEC, people will say, okay, just like they have planted you there to be there, and they will be calculating, okay, by next 4 or 5 years you will get promoted to, so you will be favored to be and that is why they say no, they will not pick from within. Between they will bring somebody outside so that he can discipline and act strictly with them without not knowing him. Because if me and you are working in the same office for the past 25 years, we are friends, and there's no how I want to do something that we don't say, we came in together as colleagues in this business. So if I'm doing something wrong, there's a way you call me and tell me, okay, Joshua, you think this thing, I don't want us to do it this way, let's do it this way, okay? But if you bring somebody new, somebody that we don't know, somebody that is more like a stranger to us and is a boss to us, we don't have any choice to comply with his direction. If not, we lose our job and we lose our integrity also. So these are things, I think that is why they say, the civil society even say they should bring the new person in.
But the other time you mentioned the fact that there might be loopholes during the coming election, I mean the Anambra election.
Yeah.
So are we saying that if we have lots of loopholes, there should be a way of judging the coming election that, we should not expect that much from him being the new chairman?
No, we can still hope that we correct some loopholes.
Okay.
But we don't want him to see as if because he's coming in because he's just coming in that he don't have anything to offer. We know he have a lot of offer. That's why we know that he have a lot to offer, and that's why the president believe in him, the National Assembly believe in him, And people have stated it that this is a man that have characters and integrity. And let's believe all those things that they have said about him work in this November 8th Anambra election. And that is what people are towards into. Let's see how he's able to manage the staff, able to manage the politicians, and being an umpire and the chairman of INEC. So that is just what we test him. It's not the amount you spend there. It is the ways and manners you conduct yourself, and the principles you intend to achieve with your characters. These are things that we tell how well it is able to coordinate himself.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. One of the things that people talked about was this thing called IREV, BVAS.
Yeah, introduced. These are things that
introduced formally by
former Mahmoud Yakub. Yes.
Do you think it can upgrade on it, from your own perspective?
Of course. These are why we bring new ideas, new people into board, because technology is taking over.
Yeah.
And these are things that we test more of our integrity. So if the new chairman is coming in, he want to test more technological ways of perfecting election that is going to go free and fair. Whatever miss, if it means that Nigeria will just be on the card readers, that and people vote, and the votes stipulated A, B, C, voted for so people, and the names have been shown. Technology can give us and show the pictures of those who voted for a particular person, and show the total numbers that voted. Nigeria will be happy. So that is the kind of technological ways we can do. It shows how many people in this polling unit. We say there are 300 people. How many people voted, and those names that voted for a particular. If we can go in that direction, people will be happy. So if you find your name that you do not vote for a particular, you can come out and sue them and say, no, I'm not part of those people that vote for Mr. A, and you show that I'm part of those people that vote. So that we not say people ring, people bring people's names. So if you voted and your name being shows that you voted for a particular candidate, it shows that that thing is genuine, and nobody come out to contest it or go to the court law and say, okay, we want to fight this thing that Mr. A is our candidate and they say they did not vote for this person, that they put his name there. So these are ways that technology can also help, but we believe that there is no how we are going to run this 2027 election that we don't have one or two inputs to upgrade what we had before.
Okay, let's no, I'm still scared though, because a good head over subordinates that are terribly corrupt too.
Yes, and that's why you have to be more disciplined.
Okay.
That's why I say you have to read the content, the electoral law, to every personnel that is working with him.
That is where reorientation comes in.
Of course, you have to let them understand. You know, these people, they knows the consequence of what they are doing. But if they have a boss that is loose, that is not too rigid, that is too flexible, that is, you know, everything goes, they have kickback, they will say, okay, they will go freely. But if you have a boss that say, okay, don't, if you are caught and they give my report, I will recommend that you leave. I will recommend that the office, we have a lawyer to prosecute you to court. If you give them this, I want to believe that they will have a second thought, that your guy that just come will not be happy. So I want to just do my job and go and with my family. I don't want to come here and somebody come and put and come for my hand and say, since you compromise, you face the music. So they always have that backing. If they don't have that backing, I want to believe that they will behave and do their job professionally without not compromising or taking kickback.
Maybe that was even the reason why the area failed in the actual sense, that they had to just stop because of a glitch, maybe because of these same people within. But let's progress a bit on the story. I think it should be the final thing I'd like to discuss for today, which has to do with this bill that seeks to create Ijebu State, and the fact that it has scaled the second reading at the House of Reps. Wow. This is something that's happening. A bill seeking to create a new state in the southwest geopolitical zone has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The proposed legislation, which is sponsored by Olufemi Ogunbanwo, lawmaker representing Ijebu Ode, Ijebu North-East, Odogbolu Federal Constituency of Ogun, and 3 other lawmakers scaled second reading during last week's Thursday's plenary. The bill proposes to amend the 1999 Constitution to create Ijebu State from Ogun State. This bill adds to the growing list of proposed legislation aimed at creating new states in the country. Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker who presided over the plenary, referred the bill to the Committee on Constitutional Review. Now, looking at this is not the first time we are saying this in the space
we
of
have
3 months.
Oyo
Is being talked about. I know about Nedwoko talking about a particular state too for the southeast, adding more states to the southeast. In fact, there was a proposal to add a whole lot of states to what we have currently in Nigeria. Now, why do you think we need more states in this country at this time?
so that Lagis can come down to those places. That's what they are talking about. When you share money, you share.
So it's just about the money.
The money.
It's about the money now. It's about if we create Ogun State and you create Ijebu State now. So Ijebu people, we have it in mind that okay, we are going to be having Ijebu man to be the governor. So it will be easier for any Ijebu man to become governor in Ogun State. And we narrow it down to development in Ogun State, in Ijebu State. So likewise for your state. So we will not be having issues that okay, we don't want to develop, but for that money, more money will come to such people. Portfolio will also grow.
Exactly.
When you create states, you have a lot of
new people coming into the political space.
Of course, you have people for the National Assembly, to the rep,
local government
to the
chairman.
senator from that place.
And that's more cost on our government.
Bring more body.
Yes.
Oh. You create local government that you are going to be paying from the federal. You create a state assembly that you are going to fund from the state level. You give the state money, and you have more senators coming in. You have more rep coming in, and you pay those senators. You pay those rep. These are ways, and you have to fund. You have to create more federal presence institutions in that state also. Maybe they don't have federal schools. You need to create them.
One.
They don't have federal medical health. You need to give them. These are things that you have to look into and start giving and start developing that state. You need some states need airport. You need to give them. You need to. These are things that federal road is not working there. You need to create one.
Okay. That brings more budget. More
budget, more money.
Hey. But do you think these are the reasons why we've not had a new state in Nigeria since 1999?
That's why I said they have to review the constitution now. It's not something that when you pass second reading, you come, no, it doesn't work. The Nigerian constitution of 1999 state, we have 36 states. So that's why we need to re-amend that situation and one federal capital. So that shows that you need to go back to the constitution and do a lot of rewriting.
But do you feel like Nigeria has the financial strength at the moment to accommodate more states?
It's going to tell on how do we able to manage what we have presently. If we say we have more money, it's not about having more money. It's about do we have capacity to strengthen those states that we want to create. If we have source at hand, now we are talking about money. It's true there are so many places that have land places that we need. We felt we should create more states. That we need
people to occupy.
People to occupy is good. Nobody's saying it's not good. Ijebu State, your state, Ibadan State is good. But the fact remains that we have that capacity. This Ijebu State, how much can it bring to the table?
On its own. Okay.
Because there are many states currently in the country that don't even pay salaries of themselves. The federal government sends money.
That is it. We have capacity. Do you think you can fund and pay your staffs if you give you liberty to do that? Do you think you can pay workforce of such? Because if you believe on the Nigerian government paying you are getting it wrong. Because Nigerian government can pay, but you internally should be able to at least have
Generate
40%
of what you want to actually
of your workforce that you want to pay. That's why we are getting. We have a lot of retirees that we are not being paid. People that work for the state,
even for the federal government, that have not
okay, for the federal government, are not being paid. A lot of retirees that you employ, you are the one that employ them, and you promise them that you are going to pay them pensions and gratuities, and you are not being paying them because you feel you lack cash, lack fund. So we don't have the capacity of paying all these things.
But then let's ask this now. I don't even know why, because at first many of them makes it look as if it is because of the fact that they have they naturally love their home state, the place
yes,
they are from, and they feel they are wide enough, big enough, of the same capacity. But then if you look at it from the lenses of, let's go deeper, you begin to discover that it's just because of the largesse. Don't you think it's high time Nigeria begins to review its federal arrangement, in the sense that, because I do feel if states were made to generate money for themselves, then send a percentage to the federal government rather than the federal government send to people, it's many people will not even create states. They will rather attach themselves to somebody
so that they can be paying them.
So that they will pay them to pay them. Because I feel maybe because of the fact that they see money coming from up. Even governors, senators, everybody are just
depending on that.
And thus, some governors of states don't even live in their government house. They are Abuja breeds. They're just there through because of what they want to get. Shouldn't we begin to look at ways where, in fact, from the local government now, you have to generate money that will get to the state.
Because state to the
I have led in.
What we are saying is that to generate money and pay your staff,
and they don't pay the government, so that the
federal government pay their staffs.
They pay their staffs, yes.
So the local government, they pay the staff of the local government staff.
This arrangement.
So these are things that this arrangement
now. What I'm saying,
when you have somebody who's working for you and wants your grandfather to come and start paying.
What I'm saying in this arrangement is the fact that rather than it's going from top to bottom, let it be from bottom
to top, so everybody can work harder.
Like, okay, I don't know of much institutions, but I know of that of the church and some companies in Nigeria, whereby it's from the mini contributions of
the church contribution will take the pastor
to the GO.
The only time the GO can send money to you is if you have an emergency issue that needs to be sorted out. That budget
at the moment.
You can now write to the national and say, please assist.
You need funds,
so they can now assist you.
Okay.
If that arrangement comes up, I'm very sure many will not talk about creating.
Then we think about internal how to generate money in their resources, how to generate money in their communities, how to these are areas that make intelligence works. We say IQ. People sleep because they know that 25 of every month they are being called to Abuja to come and talk about how they are going to be sharing the formula, and after that everybody go back and sleep, wait again to another 25 and go back and share the same formula. So you don't bring anything to the table. So when you say people should go and think, what do you have in your state? How do you generate money and pay staffs, pay teachers, pay gratuities, pay? So when we bring money, it will just be additional. Not you rely on what we bring, and when we bring it, it is not going to be enough to take care of what you created in your state. What you created, you cannot pay minimum wage. They say go and pay minimum wage. Some people are still finding it hard to pay 70,000.
Yeah.
Some even promise they will even pay it, and they've not still.
They are not paid.
They've not paid till today. I know of a particular state where the governor just promised and
keep quiet. So these are people that will say go and create more states. Go and create more states. And they say, okay, pay your staff. You cannot pay. So what are we saying? We are saying we should think how to generate and look for ways and paying all the staff. Rather than wait and fold our hand and believing that federal government will pay everybody.
So staff say bringing development.
Exactly. So you are saying that creating more states at this point is not necessary, right?
It's not necessary. We don't need such things because the one we have ASU. The other day going on strikes. If we have enough money, can't we pay them? Don't we have money? Don't you know that we are borrowing money every day to do so many things? These are show that we don't have money. We don't have enough to give out. So if we want development, we have to have capacity. Those who can think out of the box and see ways about bringing development in their little way in their community. So those capacities what we need to grow. You don't need to be growing state as if we have enough to take care of these people.
I'm even of the opinion that they should even reduce the amount of states we have.
You have more senators, you have more senators to pay, you have more rep to pay, you have more assembly to pay. You need to build complex for them, you need to buy more car, you need to give governor money. You need
give them security agencies that will
all
follow
those
them
things are
around.
money. You don't just create a state and go and sleep. You create a state and start spending money immediately. Because you build the first thing you need to build is a state house for the governor.
Which is
Even renovation is costing trillions, billions. Building a whole new
budgeted for
renovation alone.
No, but now you need
to build a new one now.
You need to build a new one for the governor that is coming in.
So to build, if to renovate
is
could take 60 something.
You need to create the capital and see how so many things we get involved now. You are not looking at it as if we just create it. It's not easy. Like gone are those days that we just military man we just say okay, go and create and start spending money. Now we can we have seen president that came in, two presidents that came in, the same states are being passed and nobody have said anything about it. Because you have to come to the president to assign to such things. And no president will assign to it.
As at now.
He will just leave it on the table and go.
Which is very true. Well, our time is fast spent in the actual sense. We can't take more. But we'll look at how the week goes in the actual sense and begin to bring more stories from what happens during the week. Thanks so much, sir, for being a part of this.
Thank you so very much.
This discussion with you. But then it's time to take sports. Immediately after sports, we come back on Daybreak Africa and say our goodbyes. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from that break. And I hope you guys enjoyed the guest segment that we had earlier and sports. And the discussion that we had earlier with
discussion talking about multiple stories in the actual sense. I think the story that got me the most was with the INEC chairman, Joash Amopito, and the scares of what actually we should be expecting. And looking at the fact that they want to make use of Anambra to judge him, I don't feel
like they should, honestly.
Because he just knew.
That's his first attempt.
He doesn't.
His first assignment.
Understands a whole lot of things that, no matter how you want to be a professor, one of the things I know about many professors, many of them are slow learners in the actual sense.
Gee.
That's just the truth.
Okay.
In the sense that they tend to want to know the depth of every detail, and if you are going that pattern, you have to go slowly. Have you spoken to a professor before, like one-on-one, you're having a conversation?
The way they will take their words one after the other.
They want to understand every factor, everything that comes with it. They do their background studies. They begin. So I think
it's like a whole lot of time before he comes fully into the
4 months before it really settles into the role and all those kinds
I think I get that part too, but I feel like 2027 is still kind of, we can still work out something before that time.
Yeah, they will work out something before that time. Everybody knows they will work out something. Though me, I feel if they wanted to have a new INEC chairman,
it should be within
that since 2024. Like months after or a year after the election, you get your new INEC chairman. So
he starts working. He has enough time to put things together.
But they made it seem as if Mahmoud was still going to spend a longer time. Then now we are seeing that Mahmoud is no longer there. There's a Joash Amopiton, and Amopiton is definitely going to have his own pattern. And some of Amopiton's pattern might not, get to the fulcrum to the points where at least it's going to have any great impact on 2027. I don't even think the 2027 election will be really affected by his impact in the actual sense, because to me the time is short.
You feel like it's short?
It's too short. It's too short.
Okay,
I
let's
think
just watch out.
2 years would have been a better time for him to prepare well. Because after the Anambra election, there will still be a race to go into Osun State election, then another race again into Ekiti State selection, then before you know what's happening, another race to the general elections, which, trust me, is scary. It's scary. So, but then every of those elections should just be a litmus test for whatever they are bringing to the table.
And we hope for the best. Let's
Yeah,
just
we hope for
watch
the
out.
best. Yeah, we hope for the best, which is very true about that. But then, talking about the best, we also need to just say our goodbyes on Daybreak Africa today. Whew. So, wait tomorrow on Daybreak Africa. My name still remains Ikhonede.
And my name, Miracle Odunayo. Bye, guys.